and start me good.
Every time that I run the code, my whole stock grows. Shit's incredible. Crops grown out, the lot's plentiful. All lock, my joint rocks. I'm all over these rooftops, pinnacle. Me and my potential is identical. Who stole the show when the busters froze? Who see it all? I got level flows with a double scope. King Midas showed that it's gross when you covet gold. I'm way more subtle than new double O. Move different like a blue Seminole. My baby bad, we like shorties and cute centerfolds. They call me the calm, casual kin dude, fully rose, and I carried the whole huge mother load. I bring the heat, but it's all peace, sun rays. I got the jump on life, hezzy pump fake. I'm sending peace where your cousin eats and your unstay. But no relief, I still got the beef for your entree. My war games leave Sun Tzu with the dumb face. Some days I slay like a few dozen demons, unfazed. Front page lies more lethal than the gunplay. Stay out the truth business, bitches, unsafe.
Yeah.
It's all love. Yeah. Whatever's going on, it's all love.
Hi. Can you hear me? Oh, I hear you.
Okay, there we go.
Yes.
Yes, what's good?
What is going on?
What is up?
First
What's
of all,
going
hi.
on?
Hey, everyone. Hi.
Welcome. Another episode of
So
Hot
good
Mic.
to see you guys.
Yes.
Let's get into it.
Yeah.
What is love?
What is love, yo? What is
Love? Remember from Miseducation of Lauryn Hill?
I remember that.
Love?
What an amazing album, yo.
So beautiful, so
Yeah.
good. A lot of stuff about love in that, but you know what came to me?
What can you see?
Was that song, Love is so many things I got to tell you, but I'm afraid I don't know how. 'Cause there's a possibility that you look at me differently, love. Ever since the first moment I spoke your name, from then on I knew that by you being in my life, things were destined to change. 'Cause
Beautiful. That's
love.
a beautiful ass song, yo.
And it's like so true. It's like, you know, people I think do have this natural tendency for love, but they're afraid of saying all the things they want to tell the person because they're like, I'm afraid you're going to look at me differently.
Yeah.
But for me, ever since the first moment I spoke your name, from then on, I knew that by you being in my life, things were destined to change. And so, yeah, with me and you, I feel like it was like 2 months in. I was like, listen, you know, we can go at any time. Like there's, you know, when your number's up, your number's up. So I want to make sure you know that I love you.
You did tell me that early on.
Yeah.
2 months in, it was kind of a red flag, you know. But especially with the way we kind of we started out saying that we were gonna be
just friends with
totally
benefits
loose and you know, avoidant with the love. I guess is that
yeah,
kind of,
I would
so
say.
I was certain about wanting to stiff arm that, and I didn't want what I thought love would be, and but who would have known that it would blossom into what it is? You know what I'm saying? And of course, what I was dealing with at the time was because it's all concepts, right? I was dealing with a concept of love, and I was scared of a concept of love. And I was scared of it failing. I was scared of all kinds of things. But have we defined it yet? We're saying that there's a vulnerability part that's a part of it.
Yeah, and I think it's like, so being vulnerable is the leaving yourself open to being wounded. And so I think a lot of people, they don't go after the thing they love. They don't express that they love, you know, this person. And so I think there's way more examples of people being like, you know, I've loved you all this time, and you're like, why didn't you say anything? So I was like, I never wanted that to be the case. Like, I just keep inside my true feelings because of this amorphous fear of being hurt. You know, it's certainly better to love and have lost than to never have loved at all.
I agree for sure, for sure. So love is a feeling, is that what you're saying?
Love is a multifaceted thing.
Okay. So
Love is a burning flame. I don't know why like love songs keep coming up to me. That's Ring of Fire.
who is that?
Johnny Cash.
Okay, sounded like him. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So love is a multifaceted thing. One part of it is feelings, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what else though? What about
Action.
action? So this is what love can look like, right? Love can look like
Yeah.
what?
What we have. It can look like a movie you've seen. It can look like Gomez and Morticia.
Yeah.
And I think it's really like important to, allow yourself to believe that love is possible. And so like thinking of, even if it's only from like a fictional thing, um being like, I can have that. I can get that for myself. I can experience that type of love.
Yeah.
I don't have to just accept what other people think I can get, what other people think I have to settle for.
Yeah.
And so yeah, like, I'm all about my freedom. I don't even necessarily like having to define a thing that is so expansive. It's like, trying to define the ocean. Like it's so complex.
Yeah.
All of the little artificial barriers are just.
I agree, and that's why I like when I'm trying to think about or to talk about love, like you're saying, the facets of it. There's ways we could talk about it. That's like things that happen, things that people do. But I like to think of it like, particularly if we're talking about two things, two people, let's say, in a relationship. Love is the glue. Love is the chemistry. It's how the two interact with each other. So it's like it may show up in all these different things. There's acts of service and like, nice things you might say to each other and sexual energy and other shit, but like this kind of acceptance is a part of love. So I think this vulnerability is one part of it. Acceptance is another one. When I'm in love with someone or I love something or one, I want to see it for what it is and appreciate it as it is. I'm not demanding something else of it.
Yeah, I think that's totally true. I think it helps to conceptualize love then as, the love you have for yourself.
Mm.
It's much easier to, I
Mhm.
think, conceptualize a love for yourself, and then you see that that's also would be love for another person. And so if you have that love for yourself,
Yeah.
you can replicate that, experience that with another person. So yeah, love for yourself
Yeah.
means you embrace yourself.
You embrace it.
Means you're not constantly trying to change yourself. You're not scolding yourself. You're not mean to yourself. You talk to yourself differently when you love yourself.
Yeah.
You don't allow certain treatment from you or other people when you love yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. You define things for yourself. You acknowledge your feelings and your experience and your intuitions, your desires.
Yeah.
You allow it to be. You don't diminish it, or you know what I'm saying? Like
You expand it. You try to free yourself. Like
you
I
try to
think
engage
that's
with it. You say, "Oh,
exactly.
this is what is," and you engage.
Yeah.
Instead of separating, because I think one of the ways that the world does for us is it like, especially as kids, it keeps telling us parts of ourselves that are not supposed to happen.
Hmm.
So we find ways in order to get validated by our groups. We find ways to like hide things, hide parts of the selves, and be more what the group wants. And so what
Mhm.
you're saying is the opposite, right? A self love finds a way to like plant a flag in the ground and be like, that's fucking me.
Exactly. Despite what the group thinks of it, and if anything, like it helps. Like the group will find every little beautiful, lovable thing about you, and make you feel like you have to hide it in order to belong with them.
Yeah.
Whereas someone who loves you, which might only be you, is like, baby, I love you. Be it. You don't have to cover it up. You don't have to feel
Right.
shame about it. If anything, I want you to feel empowered by the unique things there are to love about you. I know in when an acting technique, when you're in a love scene with someone, but it's like, you have to film it a lot, or it's like going through a movie, you have to sustain it, or like a TV show over a long time, you like find something about the person's face to like focus in on and just like appreciate the beauty of it. And you're just like, wow, I love this. Like, how
Yeah.
your eyelashes just like frame it. It's like the branches of the trees and the sunlight filters through. It's beautiful. Anyway,
I love that. No, yeah, I mean,
so
yeah.
something about love is attention, I think.
Attention.
Attention to the detail, attunement to the simple, basic thing, not like what the person does, not their function, but it's just like this.
And you said find something in the face. So I'm imagining something particular. There's something about setting this person apart, maybe like a special kind of love that notices something unique about the person and says, while someone else might go, "Oh, that's different." Like this person says, "I love that. That's actually
Sure. Like you can think of maybe an idealized love a mother has for their child. It's like everybody else is like, that is an ugly baby, and they're so stupid, and they're
that
like
may be ugly."
annoying as heck. But the mother is just like, oh my God, I just love
Yeah.
their smell. I just love their little squishy bodies and their little blah, blah, blah. It's like things that are kind of objectively not that great, like, is so precious and beautiful because it belongs to the object of
Yeah.
your affection.
And it is.
And
just
it is.
You know? What's funny though, so here's a little paradox, right, on love, because yeah, so we're saying, there's a group that accepts you and accepts every part of you and loves you, but paradoxically that can't be it, right? Love also might include a striving. It might include an inspiration. We might notice something that could be better in you one way or another. We might assume.
Yeah, potential is also what is.
Potential, yes. Potential is what is, yeah.
The future, your future ability and capability is also what is.
Right. It's like looking at a seed.
Yeah.
Right, a seed, and you plant it with love. And you plant it knowing that you're not trying to get more seeds. You might get more seeds as well. The plant continue, but
you're not trying to get more seeds, and you're not trying to keep the plant from growing, from thriving. You're like, yeah, I mean, you can. I think a lot of people do. They're like, no, I'm supposed to prune it and keep it small and cute and comfortable for me. But if you really love it, you let something grow as it wants to, as big and expansive as it is.
As it is, yeah.
And so I think a lot of people get caught in loving themselves and in loving other people. They're like, I can only love myself this much, but then when I get too big out of my capacity, and then I'm like, no, you better get back in my box of love. Like,
yeah.
And so we do it with ourselves. We're like, okay, this is the things that people can love about me, but my trauma, my shame, my fear, those things aren't lovable, so I can't share them. Like,
yeah.
But no, like,
that's the trick. See, that's the thing. I think it's a spiritual process. It's a journey, actually, as you say. In order to really love something externally, anything, whether it's a family member or a romantic love or something in the world, you start with yourself. And the goal is, and really what's happening, whether you know it or not, you've carved out your ego, which has removed a whole bunch of parts of the self, and you have to kind of like learn to accept how big and expansive you actually are. Remember this kind of creative, imaginary expansion that you felt as a child.
Exactly.
And you thought of yourself as this like superhero or something like that, and
yes,
the world told you this logic about what's actually valuable to you. I keep talking about men. I keep seeing we got a crisis currently where a lot of men don't understand that they have value outside of their income and their productive capacity. And it's like, love, we've been taught that, frankly. Unfortunately, there's a whole system of shit out there, and even from like people in our families and people we might be dating might burden us with this, but you gotta love yourself. You gotta love yourself without that dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah, I think about it, especially like, for 18 years, you were not able to, legally you weren't able to be productive and make money. So what did you guys do before that? Did you solely rely on the potential of one day?
Absolutely. I think that's a part of how the ego works. I think that's a part of it. Like a lot. Yeah, it's always like, yeah. I'm about to do. But at some point, you have this feeling of like, okay, well, what am I and who am I? What are people telling me? And how am I? How are people responding to me? And whether that's a physical thing or this like income thing, you gotta like love yourself. You gotta love yourself. And then it starts there. Yeah.
Yeah. If you can't, what does Rue say?
If you can't love yourself,
How in the hell you gonna love somebody else?
how in the hell
Can I
you
get
love
an
somebody?
amen?
Amen.
That was RuPaul. Don't sue us. I don't think they're litigious in that way. But anyway, another song that I think of, "The Greatest Love of All"
That's a
by
great song.
Miss Whitney Houston.
That's a great song.
The greatest love of all is easy to achieve.
Yes.
Learning to love yourself. It is the greatest love of all.
Yeah, baby. You sounding good,
Thank
yo.
you, Thank you.
Hitting the Whitney songs, yo. That's real. I
Oh.
remember you did that on the cruise one time, and you crushed it.
Thank you, Daddy.
Lots
Yeah.
of people try to do Whitney on, and you know what I'm saying? People are like, going for Whitney, and then you crushed it.
Exactly. I just let it go. I just let it go. I'm worst at singing and have been like when I've been like, oh, I'm not good. I have to get it perfect. I gotta it has to sound this way. And that's not love. I had to actually learn to love my voice, which is just its uniqueness. And it's not only lovable if it sounds exactly like someone else's voice, like Whitney Houston.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people tell themselves though that, yeah, it's only they hate the sound of their voice.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Major key, yo.
How will that be reflected back to you in the 3D?
Yeah.
You telling the 3D that
telling yourself that.
Exactly. Telling yourself and the universe that you hate your voice. Well, if you hate it, it's going to be real hard for other people to, love it.
It governs actions, real talk, man.
Yeah.
One of the things you said there that brings me to love is you have to love what is. Like, I think a lot of times when you see there's this whole kind of like this desire for something that isn't all the time, you have to love now. You know what I'm saying? Like, even like MAGA is an example of loving something that was potentially.
Yeah.
It never was, right?
Exactly,
they have
a story.
fantasy in their head, first and foremost. But even if it was, even if this thing existed.
Exactly.
It's a poor strategy. It's
exactly.
not, you have to love what is.
Exactly.
And, but that's just one thing. Just in dating too, like, this kind of, if Cuss in the chat used to do this, you know what I'm saying? Like, you look at a girl on Instagram, like, she's dope except for, she's hot except for this. Or it's like, there's no need for that.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, and you wouldn't like people judging you that way either. Like, you're in the body you're in this moment. You have the needs you have, and now, right now. So loving what is now.
Yeah.
It's not yesterday. It's not tomorrow.
Yeah. And I think, in many ways, women are good they're taught to love the potential, the past, the story, the myth of what could be. Whereas men, I think, are encouraged to love the now. If a woman is dating someone and he has the potential one day to have a lot of money, she's supposed to stick it out in the now. But if a woman is not attractive, is not a certain weight in the now, men are taught to wait until the now version is something that they can love. And I think it just really limits them because
it limits the experience. It limits the girl as well, obviously, right? It limits the potential of the two people. I think a lot of partnerships might not get together because men, you're talking about stories that distract us from love, that distract us from the now, distract us from what is. So this kind of, you go into the dating pool and you are attached to some archetype of what exactly she should be looking like, and some this kind of, whether it's a beauty standard or one thing or another, you're not loving her. But a lot of dudes come into the dating scene not on that love shit in the first place. Exactly. It's like we're not. not looking
Exactly.
for that.
Like they understand there's like a loneliness epidemic among men. Um, and like they kind of accept that they're going to be lonely. They accept that they're not going to find love. Ooh, that it doesn't even exist. Actually, I was thinking about um the guys on the Tune the Fork podcast were talking about love. This is about a year ago now, maybe 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And they were all, the premise was true love doesn't exist.
Yeah, I remember
Like,
that. Yeah.
and they were all like, I love my wife, but I'm not in love with her.
Yeah.
And like all the guys were like, oh, me too, me too. How do we tell? And they're like, true love doesn't exist. That love doesn't exist. So how do we convince the women of that? Like, not these men in the midst of their loneliness epidemic, trying to figure out how to get the women to settle for the myth that love doesn't exist.
I saw that, and I think that was a weird language thing and a weird. Was it three guys on the couch talking, and there's a kind of agreement that happens, and they were making the because again they say I love my wife but not in love with her, and so there's this like distinction that was really being tried to be made.
Yeah,
that wasn't fully necessary, but also I think it was part of this like they were on the podcast for almost 2 hours, so there's all this other stuff that the word love they were carrying. And then in that moment, it looked bad.
We're gonna show them how to do it in 30 minutes, okay? No difficulty, no having to like, oh well, I think we don't set this limit on what is possible for love. We're like, oh, only the love that I've seen from my parents or in my community, that's the only love that could exist. And so any other aspirations is, not worthy of doing things. I think too, like we're in this era now though that like things that we thought were impossible are now going to be normal.
Yes.
Not just possible, a rare like possibility. It's the norm. It's the standard, the expectation.
Yeah, because we lived in an upside down world before. We lived in a completely bastardized, shadow, dark, mirror, upside down world created by people who don't care about humanity, who set a whole bunch of values, the opposite of love, the separation and exploitation.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not the case anymore. That's a wrap.
Yeah.
This actually brings me to this other question on love, because let's talk about love. We talk about love with, let's say, family. I don't know if we really did that, but like dating, loving the world, loving the moment. What about loving enemies real quick? Enemies. When I read that Jesus says, and people refer to Jesus as saying we should love our enemies and how revolutionary that might have been, particularly back then. I think it's interesting. My version of love on the enemies things, once you know an enemy, it's like to know the enemy. To love here is to me like to know. It's similar in this way. Like I love you because I know you. I accept you. So for instance, let's take a crazed MAGA person, Jake Long, a Zionist. The kind of love that could be talked about here is like to know what's going on here. Like I just want to accept that you're who you are. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not longing for you to be a good person, not longing for you to adopt my philosophy. I see you, I accept you, I understand even the psychology behind your shit, and I see. What do you think about that?
I think we're like our enemies have taught us that we're supposed to love our enemies and that we're supposed to keep our enemies close. Our friends close, but our enemies even closer. So I think we have a lot of maybe faulty ideas about love, and particular in how we should express that towards our enemies. And so I think Jesus definitely flipped over all the tables of the people using the temples inappropriately, and I think Jesus also said, don't think that I came to bring peace. I did not come to bring peace, but a sword.
Exactly. And this is where love doesn't mean kissy kissy good. Again, like love means now, knowing, accepting. And that's why I like the paradox, accepting but also the striving. Like if I know you and you somehow ended up being a Zionist or something, like and if I love you, I think or something, I'm what are you doing? Like, how did you get here? You know what I'm saying? What the fuck is going on? It might be a flip a table moment. It might be something else.
Yeah, like I think in Of Mice and Men, you know, what was it, Lenny and Frank or something? They were brothers who loved each other, and you know, at the end though, one brother who very much loves his little brother and has spent his whole life loving him and protecting him and keeping him, you know, safe from the world, had to, you know, love him permanently.
Had to
take him out. Had to stop
end
him.
because he was violent. He was not in control of himself. He didn't have his wits about him. And even in his best intention, I think he was harming and killing people.
Yeah.
Because he just didn't have a connection to reality and the human condition. Like,
Yeah.
you know, the social condition. It was fucked.
Yeah. I think also I was thinking about how, you know, a lot of people say like love thy neighbor like yourself. And I think that's difficult because like I think a lot of Christians, evangelicals, fundamentalists, Zionists, you know, they do that. And like because they don't love themselves, because they think they're dirty sinners who are, you know, like unworthy, that's how they treat other people, like dirty sinners. They love other people like they love themselves. They're not good enough. They're, you know, only good if they're being obedient and useful. If they are human in any way, they are these horrible, you know, like.
You can see the people's philosophies through their actions. You see how people perceive the world, how they perceive themselves.
Yeah.
Through these things, and is a deep lack of love when I don't know, when you can't accept people, when you have all these separations in your mind, and you just live in a space where, you know, everyone else needs to be criticized and improved. You know, you're constantly seeking to move people here and there, you know.
And it's tough because I think too, like now when we talk about, you know, familial love, I think like we actually are taught that like whoever's the most, you know, violent, harmful, richest, biggest, we have to love them. We have to show them love, and everyone is not allowed, if the person in power has harmed someone, everyone else has to just like, you got to wear pants around them. You got to, you know, make sure you don't hug them too much or hug them more, or just do whatever they want. Just don't talk about it.
Yeah.
And like, that's not love.
It's not love, but you're pointing to power though. Go ahead, keep going.
Exactly. And I feel like a lot of times like in family systems and then in workplaces where they're like, we're a family, that means they're going to exploit you. And they're going to expect you to do labor for free. They expect you to be mistreated. They expect you to not reject them. And so we're taught that, like, you know.
Yeah, that in the business world, that family concept, this kind of idea that we love each other, it's all contrived and it's all for their bottom line purpose. And the goal is to make you more willing to contort yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because for family, you show up on Saturday, you might do an extra thing and not ask to be paid for it or something like this. That's the whole goal with that for sure. So this is the exploitation of love, right?
Exactly. It's never a love for yourself. It's always a love for someone outside of yourself. And, you know, I think that's the world we live in. A thing where, you know, most people do not love themselves and they're taught to accept other people who do not love them. It feels familiar, actually. They're used to their needs not being attuned to feeling not enough, to feeling like they have to earn belonging or comfort or affection. And so, yeah, we see this loveless world that we have now. And so I'm not surprised that people are afraid of love, because they've been taught that love is very conditional on their part. Like they have to perform certain ways and then they will get love.
Yeah. The conditionality of things real quick for sure.
Yeah.
We're about to hit 30 minutes. 30 minutes. I want to
wow.
I'm gonna wrap my part and then let you get the last word.
Thank you, Daddy.
The last thing I want to say is about love at its highest level, the deepest level, the lowest level, deepest, highest, whatever you want to call it. at the core is it's now. It is. You know, one of the things like love, you say God is love. I think that we live in a world where it's so fractured. All these different ways of being, societies, systems, ideas, identities. Love is the cohesive glue that helps us understand each other. One of the reasons we don't understand each other, you can say love ourselves, but loving our neighbors is different. Your neighbor might perform differently. They have a different set of, they have a different vernacular, a different approach, a different cultural thing. And love acknowledges and accepts that, accepts what is. God is love means I'm not accepting God as some esoteric not thing, something that isn't, something that is rare and invisible. I love it. I love what it is. I love when I wake up in the morning and I see the sunrise. I love waking up next to you. I love the house. I love the moment. I love what is. So love is it is everything, and it keeps this thing together, or else we fracture off entirely into entirely my specific needs for eating. You know, I love you. I ask you about your hunger. You know, shit like this. You do the same for me. So love is the whole thing, but we don't engage with it as such. We don't take an effort to define it this way. We don't acknowledge the love that we're experiencing, the warmth of it. We are very hyper-fixated on the transactional differences between us, and in the news media and in our entertainment media pump us with that. So we fail, and we fail on that measure. That's what this is about.
Yeah, definitely. They teach us, you know, the illusion of scarcity, and so like there's, you know, love is not abundant. You have to like lock it down. You gotta put these strict rules on it. Like you can't, you know, have it for other people. There's a hierarchy of it, and like.
And it is conditions, right?
Exactly.
The logic story about why you, blah, blah, blah.
Exactly, and how you should express it. Like
you said something interesting about the power thing and the power dynamics in family. Let's say the masculine, potentially violent, rich person. The love there. Like everyone kind of concedes to that.
Their love is presumed. Like they love you, but whatever they do, however they naturally, that is evidence of their love. Yeah. But your love looks like obedience.
See, the love loops everything back around. So if you're the power person and people are conceding to you, and you have to find a way. You're powerful enough to engage with the full thing, to embody and to support the lowest at that time, you know, whatever group we're talking about, to encourage and include them, you know, because we're all parts of the whole.
And it's like literally like, if God is love, then like God's love is, you know, giving life, is taking care of people, is
That's right.
making people feel loved, belonging, worthy, you know,
in this moment.
Yeah. I think you and I are like very, very good at loving. We're like, you know, we're naturals at it, and we're like, you know, intentional about understanding this gift that we have. And we're going to show these people how it's done. Yeah. The things they thought were impossible, going to be normal.
Very possible, very normal.
Very possible, and so powerful. Oh my God, the power of love. Ugh.
The power of love, y'all. Let's get into it. That's the episode.
All right.
She's ready last word.
Whatever's going on, it's all love.
Whatever's going on, it's next time.
Love you.
I know you know it's all love. That's how the game made me. Stronger than most, I'd never boast how the streets raised me. Brooklyn to Borough, J Street, Canarsie to Bay East. Grateful for the plates I ate and sprayed clean. Billy could set it off, a rip it's a red alarm. What's poppin', let's get it on. A push to the pedal floor. Stop it, don't get involved. Okay, we not for play. I'm head in charge, caution. I said a lot with these metaphors. I take the pressure, then I let it off. You roll with the kid, you know I'm cold, go get a scarf. I do it different, my purpose hurts sometimes and I take a loss. But I'm built for the swerving, all these lanes I sped across. Love why I did it all.
Whatever's going on, it's all love. Whatever's going on,
sun.